Hello, my beautiful Capricorns, and welcome to Brush With Magick Tarot. My name is Jessica, and I will be doing a general reading for the sign of Capricorn. Now, this is a general reading, so if it resonates with you, great, and if it doesn't, then just leave it behind. This is a timeless message, so it is found you at the perfect time and place. Doesn't matter when this video was posted, because it's meant for you whenever it is needed. Okay, so let's get started with a oracle card, and we're just going to look over your general energy, just kind of the general theme potentially of our reading. Now, as I give this reading, go ahead and tap into your own intuition and see what comes up for you, because sometimes there are messages that you will see that I will not, but that's what this is all about, is really allowing me to trigger those thoughts that are meant for you. All right, so our oracle card for today is: where you are is a perfect place to begin again. Relax, reset, and try again. So we have this beautiful, this is the, let's see if it focuses there. There we go. The Love and Magic Oracle deck. So where you are is a perfect place to begin again. Relax, reset, and try again. Very good. All about recovery and new beginnings. Love that. All right. So let's go ahead and get started on your reading, and we'll see what message is meant for you today. Now we're just going to begin where your general energy is at and see what comes up. All right, and I usually like to let the cards decide. Oh, there's one. Well, we had two just flip right up. There we go. All right, so let's start with, we have the Wheel of Fortune here. So here's our Wheel of Fortune. We have the Ace of Swords. Let's see if it actually, will you focus for me? There we go. Ace of Swords and the High Priestess. Let's see. Oh, you focus for me. There we go. High Priestess. All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, and that is in reverse. Now, reversals for me are very much about energies that we're feeling inwardly, things that are coming up, not so much about what we're experiencing on the outside, but more so what's happening within us. And it really feels like you have this energy of a completion of a cycle. Wheel of Fortune's all about that kind of coming around energy. What's meant for us comes around, and cycles, and it represents quite a bit of that. So with it being in reverse, it seems that you're almost like you have a yearning for something new. And it's interesting that we have this along with the Ace of Swords, because swords are all about intellect and aces are about new beginnings. So we have intellect, new beginnings, thoughts, things that are coming into our mind, right? And the High Priestess, which is a major arcana card, and that is a very prominent energy. You're probably feeling this this quite a bit more than you would necessarily the Ace of Swords here. So Ace of Swords, you'll probably feel it a couple days, but with the High Priestess and the Wheel of Fortune, two major arcana cards, you're feeling this more prominently. Like it's almost like the universe is buzzing, or there's like a call out there for you. And it definitely feels like there's something calling within you to seek out something new intellectually, and that it's not just coming from my friend mentioned that we should go do this thing. It's almost like it's something in you that you've been pushing down for a bit, but now it's almost like it's resurfacing, like there's a desire to begin something new. Aces, new beginnings. And it's not an influence, like I'm sure there are inspirations around, but there's a lot of internal, like very much a call, right? Or you're feeling a deep desire, maybe a passion that you used to really be involved in is starting to resurface, and you're thinking about taking it up again. Maybe a new job, like something you've thought about doing in the past, but life circumstances really didn't allow you to pursue that, and it's almost as if it's resurfacing again, right? And because of this high priestess. High priestess is all about intuition, you know, listening to your gut. So it definitely feels like something is like brewing within. Like there's like, you have this gut feeling to do something, and it's like something that has been there before, or you're feeling that it's time to start something new. Like there's an ending, right? Because the wheel goes, like, you know, comes around, goes around, you know, a circle. And we go through these ebbs and flows and these cycles, right, in our lives. Whether it's to learn lessons, whether it's to gain skills or knowledge, or, you know, find ourselves individually. And so the Wheel of Fortune is very much a natural state, a natural cycle. And it's definitely not a bad thing. And it's this energy of feeling that either there's something that needs to end, or that there is a new beginning out there for you. And maybe you feel a little bit of both, but it definitely is a desire for change. Not necessarily like you want to like just, you know, drop everything and like, you know, burn it all down to the ground or anything like that. But like there is this desire for something to be different in your life. And intellectually, this could even be something that is very much about challenging your mind. Maybe at your job that just isn't, you know, scratching that itch of an intellect. Like it's very mundane and kind of boring, and it doesn't challenge you, and you're looking for a new challenge. And it definitely feels like there's something that's calling that will allow you to feel more fulfilled, right? Because with the High Priestess, it's all about our intuition, but it's also kind of like this connection to our truest selves and the divine. So this could even be like a spiritual calling that you're feeling, or even just being in alignment with your passion, or what you're actually meant to do with your life, or what you feel that you should be doing with your life. But it's a very exciting energy that you're currently sitting in. It's very much this like, it's like that scene in The Hobbit. I don't know if you've seen The Hobbit or if you've read it, but in the scene with The Hobbit when Bilbo, you know, hobbits aren't adventurers. They just like to stay at home with their books and their community, and they're very content in that. And this hobbit gets the chance to go on an adventure. And at first he's like, I don't want to do that. Like, I just want to be in my hobbit hole with my books. But then he changes his mind, and he's like, no, I want to do this. And he's like running through his home trying to like catch up with the party that he's supposed to go on this adventure with. And he's like, I'm going on an adventure. Like, it's very much that energy of just like, you're kind of reluctant, but also the thrill and the idea of adventure is very appealing to you. And it seems that it's an adventure that will challenge you, but in a way that you're excited for. Very good current energy. So with this being your current energy, let's see what's incoming. I know that here really soon we're going to be dealing with the Lionsgate 888 portal. And people talk about with this alignment that it's like an opening for new opportunities. So I wonder if this has a lot and anything to do with that. You know, some people are very affected by it. Some people aren't. It's just kind of, I think it just honestly really depends on, you know, where you put your energy, right? But let's see what is incoming for you based on this current energy that you're sitting in. Oh, okay. And is that 3 or is that just 2? Oh, okay, we got 3 or 2. Let's see if we can get a 3rd. I usually like to at least have 3. So let's see if we can get 1 more. Yeah, and along with the Oracle of where you are is perfect, a new place to begin again. Like, I find it interesting that we have a beginning and we have our Ace of Swords. Can you give me 1 more? Maybe we just have the 2. Get 1 more shuffle and see if you get anything. Okay, I'll just draw from the top here. Oh, very good. Okay, another Major Arcana card. All right. So with what is incoming, we have this 7 of Swords in reverse. And Seven of Swords is a very tricksty energy. You can see we have a little raccoon here, and raccoons are notoriously tricky little creatures, right? You can't really get much past a raccoon, and he has the Seven of Swords here. So very trickster energy, right? But we did get it in reverse. So we'll kind of go over what it is in all these pairings here. We have now I know this one might look a little intimidating, but this is actually the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is a very beautiful energy because it's about prosperity and abundance, but also this energy of the reliable king. Like, he's the king that's going to show up, he's going to be consistent, and he's going to make sure that his people are taken care of, right? And then we have the Emperor, which we also got in reverse. Now the Emperor is also a very strong masculine figure, very very fatherly, but also in a way that he's going to show up and give you advice. He's an energy that's very much about the tough love kind of situation when it's necessary, but also having compassion and understanding as well, right? So it's a very fatherly kind of figure. This one is almost like I'm going to be giving you the guidance you need in order to kind of take over my king, like kind of like when you have an heir to an inheritance or something like that, or an heir to a company, and you know, those kinds of things where I'm going to train you to make sure that you know how to run things so that way you can take my place someday kind of energy, right? So with all this together, however, we're going to just kind of take a look at everything and see how it communicates with each other, right? So we kind of have this trickster energy here, and it's internal, and we have this beautiful abundance, and 8s are all about abundance, which is why people talk about how like August 8th is such a powerful day, because it's like you get to tap into this energy of abundance. And 2024 with our 2 and 4 is the year of the 8. So we're currently in the 8 year. So this is a year of mastery and abundance, and really finding ourselves and where we want to be and what abundance means to us, because abundance can mean wealth, absolutely can mean money, but it doesn't always necessarily mean money, because all of us have a different perspective of what abundance means to us, right? And sometimes people are motivated by money and some people aren't. So this is very much this energy of what we have incoming is that it's almost like, especially with what your current energy is and the potential for like new ideas, new adventures, new pursuits, right? And then we have this little tricky energy here, right? Very almost deceptive. Sometimes we get ourselves like kind of like caught like in a corner, kind of like when you paint yourself in a corner kind of energy with our King of Pentacles. And what I'm getting from this is that it's almost like you have all these ideas and you have all these wonderful opportunities that you want to grab onto. And then all of a sudden you just find yourself in this place where you kind of tricked yourself out of it. Like almost like either you're like, oh, well, first I need to complete this task before I can go into this, or I'm not prepared enough, or I'll do that tomorrow, or like just these like little things of almost like you know, like in your brain, you know what you're capable of, but then you don't feel it. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but like you kind of tricked yourself out of this role of of abundance, almost like you know that it's kind of like you're aware, like I know that I could be doing XYZ better, but you know, I'll start that tomorrow's better, right? And we almost have like this Emperor energy coming in and we have these two strong masculine energies here of action, right? And you need to take this action for yourself. It's in reverse. It's inwardly. Inwardly, in order for this to be in harmony, we need to take action. And now, when I say masculine, all of us have feminine and masculine energy within us, right? The masculine is very much more of an action, and the feminine is very more of a nurturing. And it's like you've come to this place where you've nurtured yourself to a certain point and taking care of yourself, and it's almost like you can't get out of it. Almost like you know how it's this like a baby bird, like you want to keep the baby bird in the nest, but you can't. You have to let it fly, let your soul fly, believe in yourself, and let your passions and pursuits have space. Like, you're afraid that it's not worth it. I don't know, like maybe a sense of like you don't see yourself. See how there's all these like little gold jewels all around his antlers? Like, you don't see yourself that way. You see yourself as, like, and maybe there's like some guilt here. Like, maybe in the past you haven't made the best decisions and you're trying to actively change that, or you're trying to move forward, but almost as if you put a lot of shame on yourself. Like, and it's not just guilt, it definitely feels like some shame. Now, the difference between shame and guilt is that guilt is a place of constructive criticism, essentially, right? We do something, we feel guilty, we're like, wow, I don't want to feel that way again. This really isn't who I am. I don't like this. So then you change the behavior. Shame happens when that guilt has just festered and is allowed to sit there. And then it has no productivity, right? It doesn't change anything. It just makes us feel bad. And then we kind of like hang on to that shame and we're like, no, I deserve this shame because of what a terrible thing I did, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not strong enough. And, we have all these narratives that kind of fill our brain up. And then we just sit in this place of shame, right? And it's almost like they got this little raccoon hanging on to his little shame swords here, his little hurt swords. And he's holding the swords and there's no need to hold on to these. Swords are beautiful weapons, right? They can protect. But on the other side, if we're not careful, they can hurt too. So us hanging onto the swords, are they protecting us or are they hurting us, right? And you want to just feel like this incoming energy is giving you this beautiful opportunity to take action and become this King of Pentacles, this King of Abundance for yourself. But you need to tap into this Emperor energy of action, right? And potentially even seek out, information, right? Seek out the people that will give you the tools you need to move forward, right? But this energy that's coming in is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to grow, to flourish, and to take whatever you're currently sitting in. Because whatever you're currently sitting in is this energy of wanting to do more, wanting to be more, wanting to, like, you're tired of where you're at and you're ready to do something different. So to really, as this incoming energy is here, really look into what this is. Because we want to move past this so that way you're ready for this incoming, because it's incoming. It hasn't quite come in yet, but it's incoming, right? And we have this this energy that wants to come in and give you this opportunity to really embrace what you desire. And you want it, and your desire is, it almost feels like when you wish upon a star kind of energy. Like it's a dream, it's a passion, it's something that's been there, but you haven't acted on it. And you've been afraid to act on it, whether it's for practical reasons or maybe there's just a lot of hurt there. And you can't, when there's so much hurt, it drags us down, and we don't have enough of that freedom, that capacity to pursue these things, because we're so busy hanging on to all those swords, right? We're so busy being consumed and putting our energy towards that hurt that we can't be open, right? He doesn't have any room for, if he opens up his arms, he has to put down the swords, right? So keep that in mind as you pursue forward. And with the High Priestess energy here, right, we have that energy of intuition, of intellect, right? So listen to what your gut's telling you. If there's things that you need to work on or that you need to let go, don't be afraid to tap into that. And maybe even, tapping into what might be underneath the surface. A great way to kind of tap into that is sometimes you can do like free writing, where you really don't think about anything. You just kind of just start writing. And then sometimes as we write, things come up that we didn't even know were an issue or a problem with us. That's a really good exercise, or, you know, if something along those lines can help kind of get that motivated and, you know, kind of moving forward, you know. And if you have a safe person that you can talk about these things with, you know, talk about your dreams, talk about what it is, and maybe even be like, you know, why is this hard for me? And ask yourself, you know, because sometimes when we say it out loud, we can kind of work backwards and kind of figure out exactly what's kind of stopping us from wanting to move forward, you know. And whatever this incoming energy is, it is going to give you the stepping stone to move forward. And it feels like you've been working on it. Like you've been working on putting yourself in the right places for a while. Like it's slow and steady. I just keep hearing slow and steady, right? Like this is something that's been happening for a minute now, and you're slowly just continuing to take each step, one step at a time, one step at a time, and keep going with that. You know, keep going with that one step at a time, and be mindful. You know, really listening to that intuition and not reacting in fear. Yeah, don't react out of fear. If there's like some fearful emotions coming up, you know, try and, you know, breathe through that, work through that, try to identify why there's fear, but definitely don't react out of fear, because that's not your intuition. That's more of a place of anxiety than intuition. So just be mindful as you do that. But great incoming energy, a great opportunity. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And, you know, really journal. Like, and even if you're not somebody that likes to journal, you don't need to get like a big journal. Just even get a piece of paper and just write down all of those things that you would like to have happen. You know, what's your dream job? And even if you don't know what exactly you're looking for, sometimes it can start in a place of feeling like, I want a workplace that's safe. I want a relationship that's safe. And so kind of go through what your wants are, and then you can kind of work around that structure and find where you need to be, right? But action is needed. We have masculine energy here, right? You need a little bit of help with turning that wheel around. We're not just going to wait for the wheel to turn naturally. We kind of need a little bit of that muscle to kind of get it going, right? So let's look at what your advice is. I didn't even get the question out. We already had 2 fly out. What is our advice? Is that just 2 or is that 3? Okay, so oh wow, that one, like, I'm impressed that I even caught that. That was just like popped right out. Okay, so let's look at our advice here. We have the Knight of Cups, which we love. A Knight of Cups. This is our Knight of Cups. He's kind of on this ship here. Oh, will you focus? Focus. There it goes. And we have this cup on the sail. It has a bee. And we have a beautiful constellation in the sky. Then we have the Page of Wands, and this one is actually in the form of a fox, and we got this one in reverse. And then we have the 3 of Cups here. Beautiful 3 of Cups energy. Lots of, you know, you have a really nice variety of swords and coins or pentacles and cups and wands. Like, you have a very nice balance here. There's not too much, like, there's not, usually if there's like an overwhelming amount of one suit over another, it can definitely signal like a specific imbalance or something that needs to kind of shift. But you have a very nice even energy here, which is great. So our advice is with our Knight of Cups. Now the Knight of Cups is a very like Prince Charming kind of knight, right? He goes out on these adventures and he's very, very Prince Charming, very like knight in shining armor vibes, because he's very in tuned, right? So we have this masculine energy, but this one is a very in tune, emotional, masculine energy. So really tapping into his feelings and knowing, and it's not just like, oh, he's sensitive and he cries. No, like when it comes to cups, it's about knowing what our heart desires, being very mindful of how we're feeling, right? Everything that happens like emotionally within us does have a physical reaction within the body, right? Anxiety has a certain feeling, fear has a certain feeling. And sometimes you have feelings, you're like, well, what is that? And sometimes we're like, oh, I'm scared. And like, no, that's actually not being scared. That's something else. Or I'm angry. And then you like kind of look at it, you're like, oh no, actually I'm just, I'm not actually angry. I'm just really sad, you know, like sad, mad, like, you know, so, so he's a very aware of who, like just that whole spectrum, right? In his pursuits and everything. So, and then we have our Page of Wands, right? And pages have such a young, vibrant energy, and they're this beautiful energy of like also new beginnings. So you have an ace and a page, so very also new beginnings, and it's a self-discovery. Honestly, like with the Page of Wands, the page will go out, and it's not just about absorbing knowledge or learning something new. With this, it's very much about wanting to tap into the self and self-discovery. And then there is the Three of Cups, this little group of little frogs on their lily pads and just all together. And we have these three ladies with their cups. Even though you can't see them all, they're all there. And Three of Cups is a celebration, and like almost this feeling of sisterhood. It doesn't have to be women, but it does have this feeling of sisterhood and being together and having this celebration. So honestly, from this, all three together, the way that they talk to each other, it is your advice is very much in the realm of celebrate as you discover yourself. Celebrate as you're going through this new process of answering the call from within, because it's not just, oh, well, I really want to go do this thing, so now I'm going to go do it. You know, a lot of times it's not that simple. It's a lot of self-discovery. It's understanding yourself. It's also knowing what you like, what you don't like, dealing with your failures, with your successes. So there's lots of things that kind of go into self-discovery, and for everyone it's different. I really wish I could just be like, this is how you do it, but everyone is different. And so start with this Knight of Cups energy. Start with this energy of tapping into yourself, listening to yourself. If you don't want to go do something, start with saying no, and not even coming up with an excuse, right? Because a lot of times when we don't want to go do something, we'll make up an excuse because we think, oh, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings. So we come up with something to say like, oh, well, actually I'm busy that day, sorry. You know, and you can even just be like, you know what? No. And you don't have to have any excuse, you know? Really listen to that stuff. You know, I don't really feel like doing that and I don't have to do it, so I'm not going to, right? Or, I know that I probably should be going to bed early because I've been feeling so terrible lately. So really sitting with those emotions inside of your body and really mastering how your body speaks to you, because we all have a different way of our body speaking to us, right? And this is kind of like, you know, like in essence, like the fight, flight, or freeze. Like, are you a fighter? Are you flight? Are you freeze, right? We all react to intense situations differently. And the same goes for just emotions in our body in general. And especially like when it comes to intuition, right? So we have these two cards here. This one's all about understanding, being emotionally aware and in tune. And we also have the High Priestess, intuition, right? So when we have this together, really begin to identify how your body communicates to you, how your emotions try to communicate with you, and really listen to that and get into this place of curiosity, right? A curious little fox, right? So get into that energy, be curious about yourself, don't be afraid of it, and celebrate you. Celebrate the things that come along the way. Celebrate the big, the small, and everything in between, right? You know, we have these three girls and they're with their cups and they're celebrating, but they're also, you know, there's all these little guys in there too. So celebrate all the bits, the big and the little and the in between, right? And know that as we celebrate that and we accept those parts of ourselves, opportunities will open up to us, right? Because we're not just surviving, we're not just going through the motions, we're kind of becoming more present in our everyday, right? And it's as simple as starting with that, just being more aware and present as you're going throughout the day, not just like, I'm just gonna, get through this work day and get my head down and survive, right? And then you just go home and you sit down on the couch and you just veg out, right? Which sometimes that's necessary. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because sometimes that is absolutely necessary. But, if there's like a hobby that you haven't done in a while, maybe pick it up, and even if you don't start it right away, like maybe think about it, or just find those little things that like spark you, right? That a starting point that about yourself, and then continue on with that curiosity from there. So I hope that makes sense. But your advice is a very beautiful advice, honestly. Like usually sometimes we think of advice and we're like, oh, it's going to be scary, or I'm going to feel bad after this advice because I feel like I'm not owning up. But no, just discover who you are and have fun with it. Don't take life so seriously, and celebrate all the wins, big, little, small, celebrate them. And especially no matter where you're starting, even if it's as simple as I got up and I remembered to brush my teeth this morning. And I know some of you are going to be like, ooh, who doesn't remember how to brush, who doesn't remember to brush their teeth, right? Sometimes that is the biggest win you can have. And you need to recognize that and celebrate it instead of shaming yourself, right? Don't go back to this place, this little raccoon place here of shame, right? Okay? You want to be in this place of celebration. All the wins, all the things. And as we begin to accept and celebrate, these things are going to fall away, right? And right? Because this isn't our incoming energy, right? This is incoming. So if we're celebrating those things, when those feelings try to creep in, we have already made this strong foundation of acceptance and love for ourselves that it's much easier. I'm not going to say that it won't come, because it does, but it is easier to put the shame away, put the guilt away, and be like, you know what? Actually, yes, I could I do better? Yes, but this is what I did do. And better is still good, even if it's a little bit better, I went on a walk today and I haven't gone on a walk in 6 months. Oh, I could be doing walks every single day. No, but you did do a walk, and that's better than not doing a walk at all, right? So just think of it in that way. And as this incoming energy comes in, you're going to be prepared for this incoming energy, because whatever it is, and with everyone, it's going to be it's going to present differently. This could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a community, whatever it is, right? We're going to be better prepared and to know ourselves, because we've mastered how we're feeling about things and what is truly us, right? What is our moral compass? What is our ethics, right? He's in a ship, right? He's sure of himself. He knows what his North Star is. What is your North Star? And then having this mastered, the intuition is naturally going to come. And there's so much out there as far as like how to develop your intuition, how to trust yourself more, because intuition isn't just like woo-woo stuff. Like intuition is just having a trust in yourself to make the right decisions, right? Because a lot of us are chronic overthinkers, and the reason we overthink is because we're unsure, because we don't trust ourselves, right? So, did I make the right decision, right? Did I do the right thing? Did I do this? And it becomes this endless loop, this endless cycle. But as we become more assured in ourselves, we trust our gut, we trust our intuition, then that's kind of how you combat the overthinking, because you're trusting in yourself more, all right? So just kind of move in that space. Right? So your incoming energy is not going to be wasted, and you can jump on this opportunity and get yourself exactly where you want to be, right? And just be open to the journey, right? Be curious, like the fox. Be curious and be open to the journey, because sometimes we think the journey is going to look a certain way, and then it absolutely does not, right? There are very few times when I've been on any journey, even if it's just getting a job, and it has worked out the way I thought it would. So the universe is so fun that way. Keeps you on your toes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab another oracle card to kind of end the reading here, just to give any overall messages that might have been missed or something that needs a little bit more focus. Now, this oracle deck that I have here, I really like it because instead of just having a statement or a meaning, it also has a poem instead. And I really like it because it's a little bit more abstract. If you're not much of a poem person, sorry, but I really like the way that it can be interpreted by the individual, right? Because everybody interprets things differently. And so this kind of gives a little bit more freedom for that to happen. All right. So your card, oh, guide. Look at this. Very good. So we have guide. Let me just get my little book here and we'll read this out. Guide. Oh, here we go. Guide. This heart shines forward. These feet are pulled by the weight of love. This voice speaks with calm resolution as it is lifted towards the sun. I've paid my dues, and now I take my cues from the inner guidance that is leading me. Beautiful. That, I feel like that just goes exactly in with what we were talking about. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull one more oracle card, and this is from the Spirit Animal Oracle. So let's see what Spirit Animal is for my Capricorns today. Now this one does have a meaning, so if you're not much of a poetry person, I like to do a regular one so that way we have a little variety. All right, let's see. Otter Spirit. Oh my goodness, I've been getting this one so much lately. Otter Spirit. Otter Spirit is number 42. You are never alone. Like true friends, otters nurture each other and express their affection through touch. Actions such as holding hands and giving hugs offers reassurance that we are never really alone and that we are always cherished. Otter Spirit has appeared to remind you to experience and express friendship in a tangible and even tactical way. Communicate with your voice, your facial expressions, your gestures, and your actions. Letting your love express itself beyond just the words you speak. Otter Spirit's message is that presence matters, so remember to be fully present with those you care about, helping them sense the love and affection and appreciation you have for them. Now is a time for a joyful celebration of the love in your life that expresses a friendship and companionship. Hug someone, touch their arm, or simply look into their eyes with your full attention, saying, I care and you matter. Make time for friendship. Otter Spirits promises the moment that you reach out, you will remember that you too have many who love and care for you. You are never alone, and you are always loved. Wow, that is absolutely perfect and goes very well with this little celebration card because it is a celebration of sisterhoods, of friendships and things. So that is the reading that I have for you, Capricorn. Thank you so much for making it this far. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around and have more readings that come along the way. If you like what you saw here, I also do personal readings, and the link to my website, if you would like a personal reading, is in the description box. And just know that you are loved and you are worthy. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.